So here's one for you. I'm gonna kind of shape this question as two sides of the same coin. Do you have a favorite song of yours that you were sure, absolutely certain it was going to be a big hit that never made it? And on the other side of the coin, did you have a song that was chosen, not necessarily a big hit, but maybe made someone's record that you were like, what? 'Cause you're talking about clunkers earlier. So, like, both sides of the coin, was there one that you thought would be a hit that wasn't, and one that was that you didn't think would be?
Well, let me answer it this way because I've never been one of those writers that goes, I wrote a smash, I
Right.
wrote a hit, I wrote a. I've always been very skeptical of my own creativity. I have an idea of which ones are better than others for sure. Um, I've never had the good fortune of. I mean, people may disagree with me, but I've never had the good fortune of having any of my clunkers find the light of day.
Okay.
Like I said, somebody might disagree with me, but on the other hand, yes, there's some. For instance, there's a song. I didn't know if it was going to be a big hit, but I knew it was one of my better songs that I've written. I went into the studio, had a guy named Craig Young on bass. He's like killing it now. He's playing on everybody's stuff. A guy named Kenny Greenberg who plays on all the records, and a few other guys. So I played them this song called "Kindness is Contagious," which is on my Reverb Nation page with Brett Eldridge singing the demo.
Oh my
Brett is a
gosh.
fantastic singer. But this was the first time it ever happened in my whole career. Both Kenny Greenberg asked for a copy of my work tape, as did Craig Young. Craig Young was going to England to work on a project with Paul Carrack, who Paul sang in the Living Years for Mike and the Mechanics. He sang Tempted with Squeeze. He wanted to play it for them to record. Kenny wanted a copy for his wife, who was a very successful artist as well. And neither one of them ended up cutting it, but I was very aware that it was a good song, and that like solidified when two of the session guys wanted a copy of the work tape to go play for somebody. And then there's been other instances where I thought, oh, this is definitely going to find a home. And sometimes you'd get, like, I had a Martina McBride cut that's still sitting in the can and never came out. And that album went on to sell 3 million copies.
Mm.
It just didn't make the record. And
Mm-hmm.
another song, Joe Diffie, same thing. Joe did release one, but didn't release this other one called It's Just a Memory. Another guy named Mike Walker on DreamWorks ended up recording it with Don Cook, who was the same producer. But I knew that from the demo, which is also on my Reverb Nation page called It's Just a Memory, and there was a guy named Jason Sellers
Mm-hmm.
singing the demo. And Jason, fantastic talent. He was an
Yeah.
artist on RCA. He also has written some hits, but one of the best singers ever. I just knew that one's going to find, its way to radio, and it never did. You just never know.
You know, it's funny
I never,
you say kindness is contagious. One of my logos, I've been a full time content creator for a few years, and one of my logos is it says love is contagious. And I wanted to use kindness. Actually, this is kind of funny. I wanted to use kindness is contagious, but I couldn't fit it above my logo. Like the word was too long. So my wife was like, "You know what? If we just shorten it to love, it would fit." And I was
yeah.
like, "Okay, we'll do that." So like when you just said that, I got the biggest goosebumps on my arms. It's
Well,
crazy.
you missed out on the alliteration between the kindness and contagious, but love's contagious as well.
Yeah, and this all started because a lot of my content creation success came during COVID, and so much strife and division
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and I just wanted a message that was above all of that. You know what I mean? Like kindness is
This,
effortless too. Like it
yeah,
doesn't take any effort to be nice to somebody. You know?
yeah. It's We wrote that song. A friend of mine, Michael Purry, and I, probably 2010 or something like that, or maybe a few years after that. Somewhere it was pre-COVID. But one of the lines in the second verse is, "We put on our masks, our hidden coats of armor, to distance anyone from reaching in. Little did I know, within 5 years, a mask had a whole nother meaning. We were
Right.
talking about I was listening to Sting's song "Shape of My Heart" yesterday. I watched the video, and one of the lines was, "I met a man with too many faces. The mask I wear is one." And I was like, "Wow!" I mean,
Yeah.
it was that's what we were using, was the mask that way. It's like, how do we, when we go out into the world, we sometimes do put masks on,
Mm-hmm.
to, whether it's to cover our insecurity or cover um, our struggles, our strifes, whatever we happen to be going through at the
Our
time.
yeah, our fears.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I always thought that that song would find a home, but it hasn't. And
Is there anywhere to
we,
listen to it? Is it out there
yeah.
somewhere?
Oh yeah, it's on my Reverb Nation
Okay,
page.
I
It's
will
called
check it out for sure.
Pages. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
will definitely check it out.